Austin Boyd aboard the Lucas Oil Green Streak. You know, we've had 4 events so far on the season. And the only reason this tractor is sitting number 2, yeah, there's Austin standing beside the tractor. I think this is Greg driving. Okay, so the only reason this tractor is sitting number 2 in points is because of the very first night at Benson. They had a 12th place finish on night number 1 at Benson, but since then, first place finish, second place finish, first place finish. So
yeah, that first night, that was actually Steve was driving the tractor that first night. We have not seen Steve in the seat since at that point, the first event of the season.
So once again, that was Greg Boyd, not Austin Boyd. So Greg Boyd goes 244.37, 244 feet, 0.37, which will put him in the number 2 spot. 244.37. All right. The Walsh brothers, Old Blue and Old Red here tonight. A couple of the turbine-powered tractors. We will see Old Blue first from Austin, Wisconsin. Next on our grandstand side on our Big River Steel super modified tractors.
There's some of our fans with the bring along seating right along the front fence. Not a bad seat in the house here at 300 Raceway.
On our infield side, we are getting the Iron Boy sled out of the way and bringing in our big sled for our unlimited super stock tractors. Puller number 1, lessons learned, Neil Gettinger out of Hagerstown, Indiana. He will be our test puller. Followed by Considered Armed and Dangerous HD, Josh Blackburn. As you can see the shot there from our end camera. Here is our test puller for our unlimited super stock tractors. Neil Gettinger on our unlimited super stock class.
All right, our 2012 points champion. The unlimited super stock competition here, the Case International MX285. Neil joined us up last Friday night down at Fort Recovery. Missed the first 2 events down in Benson, North Carolina. But Neil did have a nice run down at Fort Recovery, a 3rd place finish on Friday night with this tractor, the lessons learned. Of course, in reference to his old tractor, the John Deere, the Up and Atom, diesel tractor that he ran for many, many seasons.
As you can see on the graphics on there, RPMs, turbo boost, tire pressure, all lessons learned. He is our option puller as we start our unlimited super stock class. Comes to us from the Hoosier State, Hagerstown, Indiana. Total of 15 in this class. 8,000 pounds maximum weight, 650 cubic inch limit. This is our unlimited super stocks. Here comes lessons learned, Neil Gettinger. And that's how we start out. We will see if he decides to keep that or exercise his option. Also see if we have the sled set as we want.
Yeah, great run right there. Sailed it right down the track here for Neil Gettinger.
And the distance for Neil, 322 feet, 0.85, 322.85. We're going to see if he keeps that. We're talking to him right now. He is going to keep that. There's a couple Neil Gettinger fans there in our crowd tonight with the crew shirts. So we are official over on the infield side, 322.85. Lessons learned is where we set that leader pylon. Looking for Josh Blackburn next. Considered Armed and Dangerous HD on our grandstand side. It's our first look at our turbines in this class. Old Blue, Dave Walsh, the Walsh brothers from Austin, Wisconsin.
Yeah, 3 turbines on this tractor. T64, you're allowed to run up to 3 of the bigger turbines, the T64s on this particular tractor. And good to see Dave back out in the competition, returning after a 21-year hiatus. away from the sport. As we'll get the turbine tractor up and rolling here. Comes to the starting line with one engine fired up. Then he'll fire off the other two engines, get everything up and spinning. Now, fans, these are shaft-driven turbines, as you see out the back ends of them. They'll go into a common gearbox. They're not jet propulsion turbines. They're shaft-driven. So he will start off the starting line and get those engines fired up, get him up spinning to as close as he can to 100% of maximum RPM. You can't get a turbine on the ground to 100% maximum RPM, but he'll get him about 80%, and then he will turn it loose here tonight. Of course, for many years, Dave ran the Irish Challenger name on his modified tractors, ran Arius engines for many years before switching on over to the turbines, and actually went to Art Arfon school. Art took quite a few years teaching Dave the turbines until Dave says he pretty well had everything all sorted out, and just kind of working out the bugs on this turbine tractor here, as it's kind of been through a few different hands over the last few seasons. For 2021 here, he's changed the gearing up on this particular, both of his tractors that we'll see in the competition here. So we see the RPM start coming up here, and then Dave will turn things loose on Old Blue here tonight.
296 and 28, the distance to beat, courtesy of Steve Bunnage.
Oh, yeah, fans, no doubt about it right there.
I think we're going to be moving the leader flag, that leader pylon. We're going to pick her up and move her east.
Well, getting things sorted out here with Old Blue as Dave Walsh lays down a nice run here.
Taking a look at that Lucas Oil replay coming right at you. Beautiful pass, 3:03.17, your new leader. 3:03.47, excuse me, 3:03.47. 303 feet.47 for Dave Walsh, Old Blue. Currently number one. All right, over on the infield side, considered armed and dangerous, HD, Josh Blackburn, Newton, Wisconsin.
Yeah, current points leader right here is Josh picked up a win last weekend down at the Fort with this tractor on Friday night. Now, this is the inline six-cylinder tractor on the Cheezick team. Josh out of Shullsburg, Wisconsin, about 45 minutes from Farley, Iowa, one of the closest pulls that they attend all summer. This one here at Case International MX 210. Our first of two tractors that Josh will have in the competition. Will also be in the international threat a little bit later on.
He followed up that win on Friday night with a third place on Saturday night. Oh, taking the lead with authority.
Oh, they're letting them run here tonight. Unlimited super stock action.
3:22.85 is where the leader pylon sat. Let's take a look at that Lucas Oil replay.
See the concentration on Josh's eyes as he goes down the track here, is watching the gauges, watching the track.
3:45 and 62, 3:45.62. That is where the leader pylon is going to sit. Considered armed and dangerous HD. Beautiful run there for Josh Blackburn. On our grandstand side, former points champion, Wayne Sullivan, Warsaw, Kentucky, the Optima Batteries Kentuckian, due up next. We just saw the turbine take the lead at 3:03 and 47. Of course, we're talking about Dave Walsh with Old Blue. We are here night number one. We're in Farley, Iowa. It is the Line X 300 Raceway Farley Nationals presented by General Tire. We appreciate you tuning in on Mav TV Plus. 2 classes in the book so far. Our lightweight superstock winner, Marcus Weddleson, gunpowder and lead. And then we also saw Grayson Shelton and Sawed Off win our Summit Racing mini rod class. We are in the midst on our grandstand side of our Big River Steel super modified tractors, and on the infield side, our unlimited super stock tractors.
So as we back in the Optima batteries, Kentuckian out of Warsaw, Kentucky, due south of Cincinnati, Ohio, about 45 minutes or so. As Wayne Sullivan. Now, Wayne currently sitting number 8 in our points here for 2021. As I would like to get back on top of the class here. He's got 2 championships, did the trick back in 2015 and 19 with the Kentuckian machine. They had some engine damage down in Benson. Put the spare in and have been making some respectable runs with the tractor. Would like to get it back on top. Right now, the mark to beat 303.47. Dave Walsh, our current leader.
Look at Jerry Nelson, our track official, backpedaling. He saw the Kentuckian had a head of steam. And Jerry's like, I think I better move myself down the track a little bit east.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He got locked into the track, and it was off to the races. As you can see, the Kentuckian team giving high fives down there trackside. They're fired up. As Wayne lays down a nice run here, as we see that Massey Harris 444 hood out front of this tractor, the Kentuckian. Wayne just got locked in there. You see the front end come up, and he was off to the races.
Folks, how about 353.43, 353 feet, .43. That's your new leader right there, the Optima Batteries Kentuckian, Wayne Sullivan out of Warsaw, Kentucky. Beautiful run. Now that's taking the lead with authority.
With authority, you got it. Wow.
As you can see there on our Lucas Oil leaderboard, taking the lead by 50 feet. 50 feet. Old Blue in current second place spot, 303.47. All right, over on our infield side, should be looking for Colin Ross. And triple bypass. Now, Colin just needs to tell himself that tonight is a Saturday night. And the reason we say that, we've had 4 events on our season for the unlimited superstock tractors, and both weekends were a 2-night weekend, Friday and Saturday in Benson, North Carolina, a Friday and Saturday in Fort Recovery, Ohio. And as we can see on our General Tire flashback, here was last Saturday night, Colin Ross taking the win. So 2 Saturday nights in a row, 2 wins in a row.
For the diesel tractor against the alcohol machines.
This will be the only diesel tractor in the class, in a class full of alky burners. So he's coming in tonight sitting number 5 in points. And really the hiccup that he had that's really costing him is the
last Friday night down in Fort Recovery. Yeah, he had some issues.
Otherwise, all top 5 finishes. You know, night number 1 at Benson was a 5th place, which is very respectable. And then, of course, he won Saturday night at Benson. And then at Fort Recovery, had a little hiccup on Friday night, took him home to a 10th place finish, and was the top spot on Saturday night. So, Colin Ross, all the way out from the Keystone State, Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. That beautiful McCormick called a triple bypass. As you can see, our running order there for our unlimited super stocks. Fully loaded, Jeff Odom's next, followed by Brent Payne with Galant. And then Michelle Novinger, the Dominator Deer. We saw Mike Novinger with a little Dominator in our light super stock class. His daughter, Michelle Novinger, will be here with the Dominator Deer.
Yeah, Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, down there in the western part of the state of Pennsylvania, down south of Pittsburgh, just before you get to West Virginia down there, tucked, nestled in. There'll be a Champions Tour event down there at the end of the season, as we now start to see the McCormick MTX 200 start to spool up. What do you think, Diesel fans? Let's get behind them.
Colin Ross, triple bypass. Well, beautiful, strong run for the McCormick out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, going to be right there in the mix once again here in our 8,000-pound unlimited super stock class. Allowed to run up to 4 turbochargers underneath the hood. And they'll crank these engines about 5 to 5,500 horsepower out there. That's what they're making out of these inline 6 cylinders and the V8s you'll see a little bit later on.
And he carries it to a second place distance of 335.16, 335 feet and 16 for the triple bypass. Colin Ross out of Waynesburg, Pennsylvania. So Josh Blackburn will continue to lead at 345 and 62. 335 and 16 for Colin Ross. All right, we saw one turbine over here on the grandstand side. Here comes another turbine. Galen Bargy, the Rhino Ag Judge, next generation from Ansonia, Ohio.
Yeah, same basic setup as we saw with our first turbine entry. This one here with a little bit smaller turbines. These are 3 T55 jet turbines, what you'd find in an Apache helicopter. Now, the Bargy family had some damage down at the first event of the season down at Benson. Got the tractor thrashed on it all last week before the Fort Recovery event. I actually went out to Nebraska and got the engine fixed, came back, got it back on the tractor, and laid down 2 real nice runs last weekend at their home event in Fort Recovery, Ohio. Galen Bargy going to be doing the driving here out of Ansonia, Ohio, Western Ohio. As we'll see, they'll start to spin those engines up, get them up to where they need them to be, spin them up. Takes a little bit of time here on the tractor. Now, this is the Rhino Ag sponsored machine, the Judd's next generation. Now, I do believe this is the only vehicle that they have in the competition here this weekend. They didn't bring any of their unlimited super stocks out. They do have 2 unlimited super stocks that they have been running. But I believe this is going to be the only vehicle that they brought out to Farley here this weekend. Of course, Galen, a second generation puller. His dad, Ron Sr., got the Judge Madness started back in the early 70s.
You know, with Ron Sr. pulling the Judge and the Apache, hence the name Judge Next Generation. Another good run for those turbine-powered tractors there. As I mentioned, Ron Bargy Sr. pulled the Judge and the Jury and also the Apache. And the name, the Judge, the Next Generation, passed down to the sons.
Yeah, a lot of the success they've been having with this tractor, they've put a new set of tires on it, and the tractor is really hooking as of late, nice and straight. And that's the thing with a turbine, is you can't get off the throttle back onto it. It's all or nothing with a turbine engine. So you got to make sure that they're going straight out there, and that has been the case here since they've made the change with the tires.
And Galen Bargy goes 332.72, 332 and 72. And you can see on your Lucas Oil leaderboard, that will move him into the number 2 spot, 332 and 72 for Galen Bargy, the Rhino Ag Judge Next Generation. Back over on our infield side, fully loaded Jeff Hodem, Delroy, Ohio, on our unlimited super stock sled.
Yeah, the Blaster Corporation sponsored John Deere here as Jeff Hodem gets ready to go to work.
Couple top 10 finishes for Jeff last week from the battle at the fort. Coming into tonight's show, sitting number 9 in our points for our 2021 polling season.
Yeah, the two-time champion here in Unlimited Superstock action. The last couple of years, he's tried a new different combination on this tractor and just trying to get things all sorted out for him. And that's like anything. You make a change on one of these tractors, it's trial and error, getting things, all the bugs sorted out on them.
$296.79 is where they mark for him. $296.79 for the ticket. The sun got him tonight. I guarantee you, tomorrow, he's coming for revenge.
Want to make Graham Tire your tire store next door? So you need tires for your pickup truck, your car, your feeder, lure spreader, ATV, anything that's got tires on it. Check them out at GrahamTire.com. Tell them the Outlaws sent you. Graham Tire, your tire store next door.
All right, over here on the Limited Pro side, we've got Gary Honeycutt out of Marshfield, Missouri, coming out. International, he calls Jack. Those of you down there close to the start line, if you can see the side of the tractor. He hooked up here. Let's see what he's got on the jack machine. I guarantee you, he is going deer hunting here tonight.
Here we go. Gary Honeycutt, International.
Here we go. Make some noise, Red Trucker.
Oh, that wasn't good. He didn't want that to happen. Yeah, while we got a moment here, just want to mention this modified tractor class coming up. It's going to be very, very loud. If you don't have ear protection, at least for the young'uns, you can head over to the souvenir trailer. They'll supply you with some ear protection. Several of these machines are super, super loud. The loudest class of the night.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaefer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaefer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaefer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you. There's
4-1 class. They're running a 4.1 inch smooth bore turbo on every one of these tractors. That is the limit.
Over on the modified tractor side, you're looking at Wayne Longnecker out of Cambridge, Iowa. This guy's very famous for over the years running V12 Allisons and Rolls-Royce engines on his tractors. Switched a couple years ago to twin Chrysler Hemi.
Now Brett runs Jeet's Machine Shop back there in Hamilton, Ohio. It does a lot of work, R&D work, different pulling vehicles.
Amount of BT methanol.
8,000 pounds maximum weight for these tractors, 650 cubic inch limit. They can run up to 4 chargers with only 3 pressure stages. Those big 30.5 by 32 tires on the back end. This is our unlimited superstock class. Current leader, Josh Blackburn, 345 and 62. Right down the middle of the track. Middle here, crossing the track line here behind the Farley. Yeah, so we'll take that right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, give this Jack tractor a round of applause as they put it down the track. They come out, trying as hard as he could not make it work tonight. They'll go see if they can get it fixed, be back tomorrow.
Man, you got to love that sound. And you can hear it, you can feel it in your bones when it's going down the track. 322.79 to hit the lead. Next puller will be Craig Ulmer, the Sweet Pain machine out of Larchwood, Iowa. Now this machine is running 3 engines, 3 supercharged Chevrolet motors. Now they're smaller superchargers, 871s compared to 1471s on the twin Hemis. But the 3 Chevys are pretty equal to the power of the 2 Hemis. But these guys will spin these Chevrolets like you would not believe. They turn them relentlessly, mercilessly, as they really push the RPM envelope with these supercharged Chevrolets on the Sweet Pain tractors.
All right, up next on our Limited Pro side, we're going to be looking for the 2020 points champion tractor. Brian Deck owns the tractor. He's nice driving. Got a young man by the name of Gabe Potts doing the driving. Had Blake Ott drive that in Dubuque, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been Gabe, but not 100%. But Gabe is doing the driving tonight. The tractor's not a Norfolk race.
It's a new day, and there's work to be done, which is why we're with you every step of the way, working tirelessly to bring you industry-leading fuel efficiency, power, and comfort. Introducing the AFS Connect Steiger Series tractor, powered by AFS Connect technology. Giving you the freedom to farm the way you want, achieving year-to-year repeatable accuracy. Remotely monitor and manage your farm, fleet, and data, optimizing your performance, productivity, and flexibility. Because when you're Steiger strong, it pays to be the best. It's a new day, and there's work to be done.
As they get them hooked up here, make sure to go over and check out our cap and t-shirt trailer behind the grandstand. Got all the Outlaw caps, t-shirts, new for this year. Got all your Frosted Frog coolers and accessories. Here we go. Gauge up. One bad apple. pretty sure he's going to get that one. I think that pass even surprised Gage. I think he thought he was going to come sooner. He had his arm in the air and he had to put it back on the steering wheel. The tractor kept on going. 369.28 for the one bad apple machine. 369.28 by almost 70 feet. There is nothing sweeter than the sound of them Chevrolets pulling out on the track right there. One thing, Air Dog, heavy duty diesel fuel system, the filters. Air Dog diesel, heavy duty diesel fuel filters. They actually filter out the air that's lost in your fuel tank, in your diesel fuel tank, with more power and more economy out of your diesel power plant. Air Dog, heavy duty diesel pure flow system. Homer gets back in here, gets hooked up. Sitting on this side of the track where that wind's blowing at you, you can smell the lubricant he's running it for the top end lube in that engine as he burns. It's got a very unique smell to it. There's nothing else like it in the tractor pulling world than a blower motor exhaust. 322.79 the mark to beat. Wayne Longacre sitting out front right now. This is former points champion Craig Ulmer. Give that man a round of applause. He come up short, but he was never say die all the way down the track. Kept the hammer down and he was to the rough spot. He goes 290.68 feet. Well, he had a wound up, but he just mixed that up all together tonight. Could not get it to work for him. We'll get Kelsey hooked up here, see what we can do. Want to make sure to mention one more time that every vehicle down the track tonight running the V.
Small and premium fuels and local auto parts retailers. Walk the road with gas lines, it doesn't have any ethanol in it, walk down your carburetors.
They actually just done a 1.5-year study on the VP up against the top 9 other competing brands of fuel stabilizers in the premix. VP came out on top of that study by a long shot. Here we go! High velocity legacy edition. Big Echo digging forward. Not gonna catch the one bad apple tractor. 328.82. 328.82 for Kelsey with the high velocity legacy edition. 2020 7,400 pound modified tractor points champion Donald Nelson.
been around the sport of pulling, been in the game for a long time. Comes out of Cat Springs, Texas. Has 2 tractors in competition here tonight. Back to back here. As soon as he shuts this one down, he has to go back and jump on his other machine. But this one he won the whole ball wax last season in this class. He is the reigning point champion. Understand it's got a brand new wrap on it. All new graphics and a brand new wrap on a tractor he calls the Twisted Whip. Twin, supercharged, alcohol injected Chrysler Hemi. Very similar setup. The guy leads the class right now, Wayne Longnecker, sitting out front at 3:22.79 feet. Folks, don't forget tomorrow at 5 p.m. We get the show off at 5 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. All the way from Cat Springs, Texas, Donald Nelson. Twisted West. Donald and those Jimmys roaring tonight. He goes 311.83 feet, 311.83, puts it in the number 2 spot. All right, I want to know one thing. Stick over there behind that TV flag. If you don't feel that engine pumping in you, if you go down through there, anything will rip the track.